This question is asking, is d minus 4 a factor of the trinomial? So one thing you could do is you could try to factor this completely, just directly. If I was trying to factor this directly, okay, I would factor out a 2, leaving me with d squared plus 3d minus 28. And then I would look if I could factor this even further. Okay, it would have to be d and d. Two numbers that multiply to give you 28. 7 and 4. Can I put 7 and 4 in there so that I make 3? Yes. So if I put 7 and 4, I need a positive 3. So I would need plus 7 on the inside, minus 4 on the outside. Is d minus 4 a factor? Yes. Okay? So method 1, you just factor it like normal. Okay? I'll write that in. Method 1 in this kind of question, factor. Method 2, check. I won't put a question mark there. By check, they're saying that 2d squared plus 6d minus 56 should be equal to, if d minus 4 is a factor, then one of these would be d minus 4, and the other one would be something else. And if we use the idea of my first ones make this one, my last ones make this one, my outside and inside get combined, and this is the big question mark, what has to be here to get a 2d squared? Well, if this is a d, this would have to be 2d. Would you agree with that? And if I want to get 56, if I have minus 4 here, what would have to be here to make minus 56? Plus 14. If d minus 4 is a factor, then the other factor the only thing that could be possible is 2d plus 14. Does that make sense? Now we have to check that. We have to multiply d minus 4 by 2d, d minus 2d plus 14. Have to multiply it out. D times that, 2d squared. Outside, plus 14d. Inside, minus 8d. Last, minus 56. Combine my like terms. Is this what we had originally? Yes. If you got a different answer, it would not be a factor. Okay? I think the second method, if they give you one factor to check, I think the second method is a little bit faster. But the method that will get you stronger in math is if you can just factor something directly. Okay? So let's look at the second one. So in the second one, if I were using method 2 first because it's the faster method, I want to check if 3d squared plus 13d plus 4 question mark is, and d minus 4 is a factor, what does the other factor have to be to give me that? Can you see the only way that I'll get 3d squared would be to have a 3d there. And the only way to get a plus 4 would be to have a minus 4. Because minus 1. Thank you. Minus 4 times minus 1 is plus 4. So now I would have to check what happens when I multiply d minus 4 times 3d minus 1. Well, I will get 3d squared minus 1d minus 12d plus 4. If I combine my like terms, does it match up? No. Because this one has a plus 13, ours has a minus 13. Well, but sometimes you're going to get one here where this number is negative.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for this equation.
For this equation,
None of them are negatives, so it can't be negative.
you would still, on an exam, they would say, what do you mean by for clarity's sake?
Then you
Okay.
just write down that it can't possibly be negative because the answer is positive.
So what you're trying to say is, since the middle term is not negative,
Yeah.
and here my outside and inside would have to be negative, but they would take off from that. That's hard to explain. Like, you would have to explain it clearly that you know which negatives you're talking about and specific. But if you can do that, that would be fine. Okay? Method 1 would be trying to factor this directly. Okay? It would have to be 3d and d. If I choose 2 and 2, I want you to see that you can never make 13. Right? So I have to choose 4 and 1. If I choose 4 here and 1 here, the outside's 3, the inside's 4. That makes 7 or negative 1. That never works. But if I choose a 4 here and a 1 there, my outside is 12, my inside is 1. That makes 13. If I need a positive 13, they would both have to be positive. So there I factored it directly. I quickly multiply the whole thing out to see that it works, and it does. And is d minus 4 one of the factors? No. So that would be using method 1, where you factor it directly and find out that it doesn't actually work. And do you know where factoring sometimes gets frustrating? Oftentimes. Sometimes you get a trinomial which cannot be factored. So you have to try every single possibility, and once you've found out that every single possibility does not work, then you can say it can't be factored. So it's a lot of mental math only to find out you can't do it. Questions for practice off of number 1 are 7 and 8.